Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Tim sent me a story that'll raise a few eyebrows out of Colorado. These are troubled times we're in. A lot of crazy stuff's happening. And some Denver health executives get bonuses a week after their workers were asked to take cuts. This is from CBS 4 out of Denver. Brian Moss wrote the story. Top executives at Denver Health Medical Center received significant bonuses this month for their performance in 2019, ranging from $50,000 up to $230,000. 1 week after frontline hospital workers were asked to voluntarily take leave without pay or reduce their hours as the hospital dealt with a financial downturn recently. On April 3rd, Denver Health CEO emailed hospital workers noting the current situation will stress us financially. She announced a hiring freeze and asked employees to voluntarily take leave without pay, use personal time off, or reduce their normal work week. And a lot of places are doing that. She wrote, the goal is to reduce our total salary expense without the need to lay off employees or implement mandatory PTO furloughs. She said the hospital is also considering mandating workers to use their paid time off, mandatory leave without pay, and other steps. The goal is to avoid these extreme measures if at all possible, she wrote. 1 week later, she and her executive staff saw their 2019 management incentive plan bonuses deposited into their bank accounts. They'd been notified in late March that this would in fact occur. CBS 4 obtained salary and bonus information for a dozen of the top executives at the hospital. Due to a Colorado Open Records Act request, it showed the following bonuses handed out. The chief marketing and PR officer received a $53,000 bonus. The general counsel received a $78,000 bonus. The chief human resources officer received a $65,000 bonus. The chief medical officer received a bonus of $95,000. The chief experience officer received a bonus of $40,000. And the CEO who made the statement asking for people to voluntarily take time off received a bonus of $230,275. And that was, in essence, a 23% chunk of her salary. So in other words, she got her salary plus 23% on top. She said, we want to try to pay people fairly. Those incentives are what keeps people at the midpoint of the compensation range. She said that's if you compare it to people around the country. Without the bonus payments, Denver Health executives would be paid less than the average for their counterparts nationwide. Others receiving bonuses included the executive director of managed care, who was awarded $58,000, and the chief financial officer, who received a bonus of $93,000. And again, the CEO said, the compensation approach we use is consistent for every employee in the organization. 11 days after asking broader hospital staff to voluntarily tighten their belts, and 4 days after CBS 4 filed the request, the CEO emailed her executive staff members urging them to voluntarily give something back, suggesting they might waive accrual of personal time off for 3 months, take unpaid time off, or make a cash donation to the Denver Health Foundation or support Denver Health operations. Right now, we have staff from across the organization who are feeling like they are being asked to take PTO, low census, and furlough, and they are looking to leadership to ensure we are also impacted. It would certainly send quite a message if we could report commitment by leadership to these actions as a group. She told CBS 4 that all of her executive staff agreed to at least one of the suggestions. So every single member of our leadership team is making a contribution. She does not say how much. The hospital CEO said as of April 20th, she was waiving her own accrual of paid time off, giving back 2 days every pay period from her personal time off bank, and was also using her accrued PTO to cover 3 days every pay period, saving the organization money. She said she planned to do that for a 3-month time frame. And additionally, she said several months ago, she and her husband pledged a $100,000 donation to the Denver Health Foundation to be used to help hospital employees. She said the hospital posted an operating loss in March, and she expects more operating losses for the foreseeable future. Since the bonus payments are partially predicated on the financial health of the hospital, she said she's unsure if executives would collect bonuses for the 2020 calendar year. Denver Health treats about 930,000 patients per year and has 7,000 employees. And I know people right now are trying to read into what I just read. And I basically just read you a news story. So it's hard to read into that too much. What I'm going to tell you is this. corporations often pay bonuses to their management. And that is business as usual in America. There's a problem doing it in these times because it is what they call bad optics. It doesn't look good. And so you have to wonder about that when they do something like that right now. And that's one observation I'm going to make. The other observation I'm going to make is that you might recall in the first decade of this century, there was a big financial downturn started around 07, 08. It got really bad. And the housing market collapsed, among other things. There was a huge bubble. I just watched the movie last night, The Big Short. I've read books on this. Michael Lewis wrote a great book on it. And the several banks and several investment houses got really, really financially screwed up, upside down financially. A couple of the big investment firms went under, gone, no longer exist. They are no more. And several of them, many of them, ran to Washington, D.C. and begged for bailouts. They wanted tax dollars to save them. And the federal government, doing what it often does, decided to bail out these big corporations and gave them a lot of money to help them survive and turn themselves around and not go under like the couple investment houses that did go under. And somewhere after all the dust settled and the smoke cleared, some people heard that there were big executive bonuses being paid to some of these firms that got the bailouts. And again, bad optics, bad PR, because most Americans looked at that and said, wait a second, let me see if I got this right. You ran your business into the ground. You ran to the government for a bailout. The taxpayers bailed you out. And once your company got saved through somebody else's intervention with other people's money, you then reward yourself bonuses for what? For saving your company? You didn't do that. The taxpayers did. And the bonuses you paid yourself came from where? Taxpayers. So, again, why would you do that? And, it's been a long time. I'm not going to go dig those numbers up and who got those bonuses. But the point is that it was not a bright thing to do at that moment in time. So I would argue that the people at this hospital, this health organization, Denver Health, to send out emails asking their workers to do what you can. If you have to, just stay home, or use your personal time off, or don't make us lay you off, and make sacrifices for us. And then a week later, big bonuses start hitting for the executives. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I know I'm going to be called a communist. I'm going to be called a fascist. And I'm going to point out to people that those are at opposite ends of the spectrum. And I'm going to have people say, Steve, that's not true. Fascism and communism are the same thing. And I'm going to point out to them, it's too bad they don't teach that in schools anymore, because you'd know the difference. But that's too far afield. So right now, all I'm talking about is the bad optics of Denver health executives getting the bonuses 1 week after workers were asked to take cuts. And again, Brian Moss, thank you for writing the story, CBS 4 in Denver for posting the story, and Tim for passing along to me. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk together. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. A clear conscience is usually the sign of a bad memory.